Have you ever wanted to make $25 per hour? Well, apparently, Citizen is paying New Yorkers $25 an hour to live stream crime scenes. So let's get into the story. So do you want to make $200 a day in New York City? Rush to the scene of a murder, a 3-alarm fire, or a traffic accident, then pull out your phone and start shooting. That's the pitch from Citizen, a controversial neighborhood watch app that's quietly hiring New Yorkers to live stream crime scenes and other public emergencies in an apparent effort to encourage more ordinary citizens to do the same, the Post has learned. So Citizen has raised $133 million from high-profile backers like Peter Thiel, as well as the Silicon Valley venture firms Sequoia Capital and Greycroft, by promising real-time safety alerts for users right where they live and work. So the vast majority of those alerts, including videos, appear to come from volunteers who just happen to be in the right place at the right time. And that business model, which comes amid declining coverage of local news by journalists, saves the company money. The app that formerly called itself Vigilante, and which now boasts more than 7 million users across 30 cities, is also quietly recruiting field team members on journalism job sites to run around the city chasing emergencies. So a user named Chris, who goes by @Seagutter_, spent Thursday biking around the Bronx to at least 6 different emergencies, including a bloody bus wreck on Morris Avenue and a report of gunshots on East 175 Street. So Chris has streamed 1,600 videos that have racked up 1.52 million views, according to his profile. So asked about Chris' frequent streaming on the app, a Citizen spokeswoman acknowledged last week that he works for the company. Nevertheless, Chris is not flagged as an employee of Citizen on the app. Instead, he appears to be just another concerned New Yorker. Citizen has teams in place in some of the cities where the app is available to demonstrate how the platform works and to model responsible broadcasting practices in situations when events are unfolding in real time, the spokeswoman said. So Citizen says that it doesn't hide its use of paid field team members. The company also doesn't post the jobs on its own website, and Citizen's name was not included in a since-deleted job posting Thursday on careerboardjournalismjobs.com, seeking field team members to work for an unnamed tech company with user-generated content. You'll be live streaming from your phone straight to the app, covering the event as news, read the job listing posted by third-party casting agency Flyover Entertainment. The posting said field team members would be dispatched to cover events including dog locked in car or house fires. In the event that witnesses, police officials, or other parties to interview are available, you must take the initiative to interview them for app viewers, the listing added. New York field team members stand to make $200 per day for 8-hour shifts, while workers in Los Angeles are offered $250 per day for 10-hour shifts. And the Citizen plans to expand his field team to other top 10 markets soon, the listing said. So Flyover's owner, Michael Yates, would not confirm the listing was for Citizen, saying, "I'd violate my NDA and they'd rightfully fire me." So after the posting was removed from journalismjobs.com amid questioning by the Post, a Citizen spokesperson confirmed that Yates had been hired on behalf of the company. The spokesperson also sent the Post a link to a still active and nearly identical listing, also on journalismjobs.com. And then in June, internet culture site The Daily Dot reported on Citizen's use of field teams in Los Angeles, but the company's expansion into New York and other areas does not appear to have been previously reported, and Citizen has long been controversial. In 2019, New York City Councilman Justin Brannan slammed the app in a BuzzFeed News op-ed, accusing Citizen of scaring the hell out of people for sending out alerts based on 911 calls without corroboration. And in May, Vice reported the Citizen CEO Andrew Frame put out a $30,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of a male arson suspect in Los Angeles urging employees to find this F word in internal messages before ascertaining that the man with a bounty on his head was innocent. And the Citizen was first released in 2016 under the Vigilante moniker, but was kicked off Apple's App Store 1 week after launch and made criticism that it encouraged vigilantism. And the app relaunched with Apple's approval in 2017 as Citizen. So let's break this down, right? Now, some people might think this is kind of cool. This is another way that people can make some money. $25 per hour is pretty good, obviously depending on your location and all that kind of stuff. And, that's a great option for people if they have basically no other options out there to them, right? The only problem is with an app like this, right? It encourages people to get into dangerous situations, potentially risking their own lives for $25 an hour. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth risking your life, putting yourself in situations where there's going to be crime, there's going to be mayhem, there's going to be destruction, there could be anything going on right there. You could end up randomly getting hit by a car. You could get involved in a domestic dispute where you have no experience, no skill set to really dealing with the situation. And not only that, you could cause someone who is innocent end up being the victim of vigilantes, because even though it doesn't say it, technically this kind of thing kind of promotes it in a way where just with the internal messages comments, hey, when you have people who own the company and then also that are higher ups that are pushing for people to go actively do something within the app, through the app, and trying to go after someone, that's kind of scary and can end very badly very quickly. Now, another problem that you could actually see with this long term is that let's say that this app, Citizen, ends up going widespread, nationwide, or international, right? Where it ends up having billions of users across the world, right? It will mean that the amount of privacy that people have are basically non-existent. So basically, you're going to be, wherever you are in the world, you're basically going to be monitored at every opportunity almost, right? And that's pretty scary. And that's basically like an app that is capturing data constantly from live streams that eventually people, if they wanted to, can just basically track and hack and do whatever they want wherever they want, because they can see all this different information. I'm pretty certain everyone has seen a movie where there's softwares that end up hacking into these systems and end up basically tracking everyone's face, everyone's skin tone, everything, and just being able to track everyone from the camera on everybody's phone, right? To the point where no matter where you are, if there's people around you, you are being tracked, right? So it just gets into a really sketchy zone, and that hey, where does this stop, right? Because if you are wanting basically people to always continuously live stream, get into very dangerous situations, and then people might not even really understand the whole situation, because even though you try to get there as soon as possible, there could still be something happening that you have just a different point of view on, and people might react differently because of that. Because that's the thing, of course you want different viewpoints, right? But depending on when people actually get there, what you view might be completely different than what's the facts of the actual situation, which could cause damage to someone who looks guilty but might actually be innocent, or someone who looks like an attacker might actually be a victim defending themselves, all depending on when someone ends up live streaming. So that's the scary thing about this. It's this could lead down a very dangerous road that people may not be able to come back from. Either way though, making $25 per hour is pretty good. So if you were to make $25 per hour, hit the like button, right? If you actually like the idea of doing this and just making $25 per hour in general, even if it's not with this app, hit the like button, because $25 per hour ain't too bad. Not at all.